Hey friends, how are y'all doing today? I want to welcome you back to my channel, and I want to continue on with our discussion on the Pantry Challenge. Now, if you've been following along with my Monday videos, my Cook With Me Mondays as I like to call them, I have been doing a Pantry Challenge called the Three Rivers Challenge all the way through January, and it's supposed to go all the way through February. But I'm going to go ahead and preface this with saying, I'm throwing up my hands, I'm waving the white flag, and I'm calling this Pantry Challenge quits. Why? I've really gotten from it all that I can get from it for this year. I do plan to do it all over again next year and to see how much farther we go and to see how much we have learned. But this Pantry Challenge was a way for me, starting out on our homestead, to really get a feel for what we use, to get a feel for if the ingredients that I keep prepped in my pantry is enough to sustain my family for 2 months. My goal is always 3 months. And to really take an in-depth look at how we eat, to back away from the grocery store, back away from the fast food, and back away from the conveniences, and really dig deep on food preparation. And I did that. I rocked the month of January. I think I did awesome. I stayed within the confines that I had set for myself. I made everything from scratch, or bought everything like cheese and milk throughout the entire month of January based on the rules I had set for myself. And I did really good, if I do say so myself. Now, I knew going into February that it was going to be hard, but what I started to notice was that I wasn't learning anymore. That the Pantry Challenge and the rules that I had set forth, they didn't really fit with us anymore, because now I had learned some things about how we eat and learned some things about what to stock up on. And so I wanted to move forth with stocking up on those items. And I'm a big discount clearance shopper, so when I find meats and stuff on sale, I want to stock up on those. And sometimes you can't just stock up on them and freeze them. You really need to stock up and use them, especially things like milk or anything that's going to go bad within a certain time period, and it may not store very well in the freezer, or you don't have room for it in the freezer. So what I did find was that I was starting to feel a lot more restricted by this Pantry Challenge. I kept making excuses for myself and my family to not necessarily break the Pantry Challenge, but to go ahead and shop outside of the Pantry Challenge. Like when we found pork shoulder on sale for $1.18 a pound, I bought 2 pork shoulders, even though they were still in the Pantry Challenge, and said, well, we'll just not count that since it's, we just won't use that for the month of February. And things like that, but it just wasn't suiting my family anymore. Now, next year when I do this Pantry Challenge, I'm going to try again to go for the entire 2 months, so January and February. Happens every year, January and February. But by next year, I will have my pressure canner. I will have had a hopefully successful garden year. We're going to go ahead and put it out there and say a successful garden year where I have put up different vegetables pressure can. I'm also going to learn to pressure can meat this year, so anytime I find that meat on a clearance sale, I can pressure can it and put it on the shelf and be shelf stable. And so then I will come back next year for January and February and see how far we've grown in this year and how much better we are able to store and put up foods. Now, another problem I did have with the Pantry Challenge was I'm putting my recipes out there because I love to share my recipes with other people, especially my prepper pantry recipes, which are recipes that I build based off of goods that you can keep shelf stable on your pantry shelf. So things you can prep for an emergency situation. I love recipes that rely very heavily on those things. And so these are things that I want to do, but those recipes are getting lost in these videos. And so somebody wants to know how to cook this, and I'm finding that it's a whole lot more difficult to send them to this Pantry Challenge video and tell them to go to this, minute number and stuff. And it's just not working very well for my channel right now. So like I said, I am waving the white flag and I'm calling it quits, and we're just going to say the Pantry Challenge won this time. I will be back next year better than ever to give it another go. And I'm excited about it because I know during January, I learned a lot. And if you have not seen my January review of the Pantry Challenge, I will link it down below. I'll link all of my Pantry Challenge videos down below so you can go catch up on those if you haven't seen them. But there's an entire Pantry Challenge playlist that you can check out. But it's really taught me a lot about what we eat and what I really need to stock up on. And it has increased my creativity when it comes to my Pantry Challenge recipes for like prepper pantry status. And so those are what I'm going to be focusing on these upcoming Monday Cook With Me Monday videos, is they are going to rely heavy on your prepper pantry. Because guys, the world is crazy right now. Food prices are fluctuating so high. Sometimes they're astronomically high. Meat right now is kind of hard to get because it's so expensive and you have to get it on a clearance sale. And it's just a world that's constantly changing and nobody knows what's going to happen next. So I highly recommend, if you have not started stocking up on your prepper pantry, please do that. I'm going to do a video on what I think you need to stock up on and how I stock up for a prepper pantry on a budget. So look for it coming out. And I will be releasing every Monday a video that is a recipe and a how to cook this based off of a prepper pantry. So things that are shelf stable or that you can make shelf stable. So a lot of canned veggies and some canned meats and stuff like that, whether it's home canned or store-bought canned. Something that every household can have on their pantry shelves. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on Mondays coming up. So if you want to learn how to stock up your prepper pantry, if you want to learn how to cook from that prepper pantry, because the number one rule with stocking a prepper pantry is to always stock what you eat. But if you find a freaking fantastic deal on dried beans, buy those dried beans, regardless if you know how to cook them or not, because you can always learn to cook something right now. It's not an emergency situation for everybody right now. Some people are really having to rely on that prepper pantry because they've lost a job or they've been struggling financially throughout this whole process, and so they're really relying on that prepper pantry to feed their family. But not all of us are in that situation. But right now is your time to learn to use that prepper pantry. Learn to use those ingredients. Learn to cook from them and rely on them. So when it comes to an emergency situation, whether it's a loss of job, whether it's a sickness or something that keeps you from working, or maybe you just get hit with a crazy medical bill or something and you can't afford to pay it and feed your family. It doesn't have to be an apocalypse situation, guys. Your prepper pantry means that you are prepared. You are preparing for the future. You are preparing for the unknown. And so everybody should have one of those. Everybody should have 3 months of stored food. But if you're doing it on a budget, you have to buy what's on sale. And a lot of times things like dried beans or rice can be found at a really good deal, but that doesn't mean people know how to cook those items. And so I'm going to focus on showing you how to cook items that I think you need in your prepper pantry. And I'm going to focus on showing you what I put in my prepper pantry and how I buy items on a budget for that prepper pantry. So that is what our Monday videos are going to be all about, is the Cook With Me Mondays are going to be focusing on building your prepper pantry and cooking from that prepper pantry. I don't know how long this series is going to go on, so make sure you are subscribed and you put on those notifications so you can get videos every Monday about this if you're really interested in what it is to be prepared for your future and to prepare for your family's future. Because if you're like me, a mom and a wife, the last thing you want is to tell your family that you have nothing to feed them. Think about it. You're in an emergency situation. The world is going crazy and their bellies are empty. And all you want to do is feed your child and give them a little comfort, and you can't because you don't have food stored up. Who wants to be in that situation, guys? Not me. So if you don't want to be in that situation either, make sure you're subscribed and you watch our videos every Monday at 8, because we are going to be really focusing on prepping that pantry. So that's all I wanted to say to y'all. I'm ending my pantry challenge. I may not have won this and made it to my goal, but to me, I won a lot because I learned a lot through this challenge, and it's really shown me a new direction to focus on for my family and a new direction that I want to focus on with these Cook With Me Mondays. And I really hope y'all are here for it. So if you have any questions about preparing for the future, preparing a pantry, what is shelf stable, what isn't shelf stable, different recipes. If there is an ingredient in your prepper pantry or that you have in your pantry that you have stocked up on because you found it on sale or something and you don't know how to cook it, let me know what it is down in the comments below, because I am here to help you, and I am here to test recipes and to guide you and to show you how to use those ingredients to the best of your ability to feed your family. This is a very short video, but I just needed to get it out there and let y'all know where I stand and why you will not be seeing Pantry Challenge videos come out anymore. If you are interested in the 3 Rivers Challenge and you want to see more about those pantry videos, remember I will link all of mine down below, but I will also hashtag in the description 3 Rivers Challenge. If you click on that hashtag, it will take you to all of the videos that have been put out there by 3 Rivers Challenge people who have participated in this Pantry Challenge, and the 3 Rivers Homestead who started this Pantry Challenge. Does a fantastic weekly video showing everything that they eat in a week. So there are many options out there if you're still looking to continue this Pantry Challenge. But like I said, if you want to move towards more how to prepare for the future cooking, make sure you're subscribed and you're following along with us, because I'm here to show you that. I've always had a passion for being prepared for the future, and it's really got a lot stronger since I've had my son. But it's not something I've always shared, because a lot of people look at you funny when they find out how you feel about preparing for the future. And so I've always hid it close to my chest. I've always held it very close. But I've seen a huge need for it in this past 2 years, where people have been stocking up and they have ingredients in their home that they don't know how to cook them. And that's wasted money, which hurts me. And that's wasted food, which hurts me. And that's wasted knowledge. Now is your time to prepare for any instances that's going to happen in the future. You need to get prepared now, and I'm going to help you get prepared now. Make sure you're here Wednesday at 8, where I show you how we are building a cold chick brooder, which is an off-grid brooder that uses no electricity at all to raise baby chicks, because we have baby chicks coming in 10 days. So we have to get this brooder ready. So make sure you stay tuned Wednesday at 8 so you can see how you can raise baby chicks when you don't have any power to heat the brooder. I'll see y'all then, friends. Bye now.